Hello, this recording is meant to just be a really brief overview of Blackboard. Here I'm at the home page. You can get there anytime you hit home page, and it's the first page that comes up when you choose the course. Up here you have announcements. Usually those get emailed to you, but sometimes, like if you feel like, I remember seeing it somewhere, but I can't find where it was, it might be in the announcements, and you can always look to see. Usually I have them expire at some point. Oh, I'm not in my student preview. That's my mistake. Here you can see usually there's just a few visible because I try to have them expire so that it's not really overwhelming with lots of information. You can also get a sense of what's new. You can see what's due, what's coming up. And it's just kind of a little snapshot of what's going on. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, Start Here is a good place. It has, I'll post videos. If I do a webinar, I'll usually post the webinar there. And then there's also this link to a Blackboard help playlist. And this is where you can find really great guides. I'll post some of my own, but this really walks you through just about anything you need to do on Blackboard. So when you can't figure out how to attach a file, watch the form. Whoops. Watch the video on how to submit an assignment. And there will be times when you email me saying, like, I don't know how to do this. And I'll say, have you checked the Blackboard help playlist? This is where I mean for you to go. There's also links to the syllabus and schedule. Those are also linked right here. And you can see it downloads a Word file that you can open up. And actually, there's even if you go to view the document map, you can just kind of click on the different headings to walk around very easily. Sometimes it's nice to download this because you can click directly to the Khan Academy videos, and I'll do a different video about Khan Academy. It takes a minute for my computer, but it'll eventually link over. And on a Mac, you just click directly. On a Windows, you need to hold down the Control button and then click the link. It just depends. And you can see it takes me straight to the video. There's no playlist, like I can't put together a playlist for you within Khan Academy, and so I just list out the videos that you can either click a link to or you can search. Like if I were to search overview of theories of development, it would come up. So I can use the syllabus as links or just as a list of the videos that I can search one by one. So that's syllabus. Schedule is just like a shorter version of the syllabus. I've just kind of copied and pasted. And that's just, if you just need the schedule real quick, it's a little easier. It downloads a little faster and it's easier to print out. Launchpad, this links you to my class. If you don't already have an account, you'll need to make an account, and I'll make another video for that. Khan Academy, there's a direct link, and it takes you right to the page where you add me as a coach. You can do that by entering the class code or my email address, and then I'll show up over here under your coaches. And you can see me. It's exciting. And make an appointment. I have office hours listed on my syllabus. But here you can always go and see whatever times are available to actually reserve a time. Sometimes if I'm going to be on campus more, I might make more office hours. So you can pick a time that works, and you can always email me if there's another time. If the times don't fit, you can suggest a few times that might, and we can make an appointment this way. But especially if there's a time where I'm having a lot of student meetings, that's usually the easiest way to get a hold of me. Under course content, here's where you go to take your quizzes, and there's a quick little video here on how to take the quiz. And then the prologue is a practice quiz. Remember, you only get one chance for each quiz. There's a 30-minute time limit, and they're worth 10 points. They're usually more like 12 or 13 questions, so you could get a few wrong and still get full credit. If you miss the deadline, you can't make it up. I have it set right now so you can still take the quiz just to get some practice, see the questions, and then you can see the answers after the deadline for the quiz has passed. So that way it limits opportunities to cheat on the quiz itself, but then gives you a chance to study for the test. And some of the questions will appear on the test, so I really recommend using that. When you get started with each chapter, you'll want to download the key terms sheet for each chapter. This is where I've really tried to pull out everything that seems important to me, and then I also try to make it really clear what I'm emphasizing on the test. So at least half the test questions will come from things that are in these left columns. So if you want to really knock a test out of the park, you have to study all of the terms, but you a section of the terms to focus on. Join study groups. There's a link to a forum if you want to post an ad, like Tuesday night in Learning Commons. You could see if there's other people who would be free, so you just say a little bit more about that and then submit and see if anyone responds. And there's also some tips on how to really make good use of group study. Because I think group study is really effective, especially for a course like this where there's a lot of information, and it's just, you just got to learn it. It's a lot. So here, information and resources. This is where I kind of throw everything else. Sometimes I'll just kind of put random things in here under the videos, articles, links. Email etiquette guide. This is something I've put together. A lot of students, I've realized, aren't really sure how to write professional emails. I've realized recently that for you guys, many of you have always had texts and emails coming straight to your phone, and so it feels like they're kind of the same thing, but especially in the professional world, they're very, very different. And so at school, when you're interacting with staff and faculty, that's part of being in the professional world. And so I want you to get good practice now on what's expected in terms of emails. So I found a really great guide that I'm kind of playing off, that I'm really building on. And then I actually put together some examples of exchanges with students and explained what each piece is there for. So if you ever get an email back from me saying this isn't a professional email, please see the etiquette guide and send me a new email. It's not that I'm mad at you. It's not that I'm trying to be mean or crabby. It's that, honestly, I think it's really an important skill for students to learn before you start emailing internship sites or possible jobs. And so that's where you can find that. Critical thinking paper. Here there's a few links. This one has resources. So this is one video about setting up an APA format. If you look into APA style help, I also have a link to Dr. Ling in our department, has put together a series of videos that help explain how to do the formatting. This is really important because it's one thing to know what you're supposed to do in APA. It's another thing to know how to actually do it on the computer. And if there's anything that's not shown there, or if you have a Windows and you can't figure out quite how it translates, you can Google all sorts of things, like how to format APA style header in Windows. And you'll see there's a lot of things that come up. There's numerous videos that come up. So really there's a lot of resources, which is good because I'm pretty strict about APA style. When you're ready to upload something, you can see here there's different drop boxes and they have a little description of what each assignment is. They also have 2 files that are like a sample. So it shows you what you're supposed, sort of roughly what it's supposed to look like. When you're ready to upload it, you don't want to write your own submission. You want to browse your computer and go to wherever you might. I'm just going to upload the first day activity. That's a good document to use. You'll see there's a list of the documents, kinds of files you need to use. And you'll notice that Pages is not on this list. I'm a Mac user, as you may be able to tell, but Pages is not compatible with some of the software that Blackboard uses. And so I do not accept files from Pages. You can PDF a file from Pages and upload that PDF. PDFs are okay. And I'll try to post a video at some point where I talk about how to make a PDF. So I would upload my file and submit it. And you always want to look and make sure that it actually comes through. And I see, yep, that's the way that it's supposed to look. And so I can say, okay, and I've submitted my paper. And same thing for the critical thinking paper, and here's the rubric used for that. If you want to have extra time to look over your paper with a peer, so you look over their paper, they look over yours. Same thing here. You could say, email papers to each other, and you would put a little more information and submit. Or you could still say, when and where you're interested in meeting with someone. When you get down here to course tools, you can see your grades. So you can see I've submitted this article summary, but I'm waiting on a grade still. And I haven't done anything else at this point. You can also see some bonus points. I often use the discussion for a way to do bonus points for just kind of, usually it's things like, like if you post a headline where someone has used, a research study has used the stats badly, kind of has misinterpreted it, you could get a point for that. So my grades is where you can find all of the grades that have been posted. Groups, there's no groups currently, but this is where if you want to do a study group and you want to use Blackboard for part of it, I can help you. Maybe you can just, you can just kind of do it yourself. But I don't plan to use groups for anything, but it's just kind of there. The calendar is a very useful tool. You can see it seems a little overwhelming right now because I've got a couple different things coming in. Some of it are doubles actually from our class. But now that I've got it down to just our class, it shows when different things are due. I know this is, oh, that's from fall. There we go, that's our class. That looks right. And so you can click to learn more. I also do include, oh, I guess I don't have in here. I sometimes include the tests just to kind of let you know when they are, but I guess I don't have it in this one right now. Yeah, that's a different class. Discussions. This is where usually there's two main things I use this for. One is just kind of an extra credit, like this bonus for horrible headlines. And I explain over here, I kind of explain what you need to post. And then I usually do an example post where I kind of show you what I'm looking for roughly. The other thing is, if we have a snow day or I need to cancel class and part of our class is taking place over Blackboard, I will have a discussion and I'll say in the announcement what you need to do in the discussion to get credit. So like our first class was canceled and so you have to participate in 2 threads and I say kind of how much you need to participate to get credit for that. Usually it's more than just one post for these attendance things. So you need to be commenting on other people's or doing things like that. Tools, it just kind of is a list of tools. You don't really need it for anything. And then help is a good place to go anytime you're not sure what to do. Usually it's better to look here for a little bit than to just email me right away, because often emails from me might take a day or 2 to get a response. So that is a very quick introduction to Blackboard.